I have yet spoken about any racing. No condone street racing. Nobody's perfect. Excuse me, pardon me. That was a protein shake burp. But, you know, nobody's perfect, and when you're young, you do kind of put yourself in those positions, but, you know. And no matter how much you prep, I guess, even, you know, even if I try to explain it now, it's just going to be looked down upon. But, you know, we made it so that if anything were to happen, it was just us getting hurt, the driver, and that's it. You know, we all knew the risks. I mean, that car was, oh man, she was such a bitch too. You know, the more you treated her like one, like you just, you know, drive it like you stole it. You know, just so aggressive with everything. You know, no matter what, all the way up to red line. You know, she would just do it and laugh at you, and it was so amazing. It was so, she was so fun to drive, you know. And then the one time, you know, I'm actually kind of doing speed limit, and I'm in traffic, and what happens? She just decides to like crack a subframe mount, thrust my rear diff forward, and kill 3 bearings inside, and just wail like a motherfucker. But, you know, I eventually swapped that out. It's crazy because I did everything I did to that car was probably in the dead of winter. I did 3 diff swaps in winter on that car. I became such a pro at not having to drop the subframe to swap a diff, and I would be able to do it in 15 minutes. You know, talk about drive, right? When it's your baby. This guy, I'm gonna lose. Yeah, I feel like, yeah. It's because I fucking ran into the wall. Whatever. Alright, I'll go to the next guy. But yeah, out of my list of cars, definitely the FC is like my one to be had again. I probably would own each of my past vehicles again at some point, but definitely the FC. It's one of the ones where it's like, you know what, if I could do it again, I would, and that would be her. You know, especially during, that was like the time when drifting was, especially, you know, drifting competitions, they still were kind of on their way up. You know, I was still kind of more focused on, I guess, the grip side of things. I guess it's because of the type of racing I was into at the time. I had this thing where I was like, you know what, I'm all motor all the way, you know, naturally aspirated, and then I get fucking FC, turbo, and a fast one at that, and just like, you know what, I think I think that's when the bug hit me. Not to say that, you know, naturally aspirated cars are any less of a car. You know, I'd definitely build another DA 4-door B18 all over again. You know, it's another odd one where a lot of people, especially, only know me because of my weird choices of cars like the RX-7 and or my Subaru. They forget that I've built a Honda in my past. I mean, again, I have no biases. You know, everybody has their own style and everybody has their own vision. Did you just pass me? I'm not gonna say, you know, this car is so much better for this, and this, but, you know, even though every car has their pros and cons, but, you know, everybody's, you know, they have a right to their own opinion. They could build whatever the fuck car they want, however the fuck they want. And as long as there's something interesting in it, I'll take a look at it. You know, it's not like I'm not gonna be like, oh. it's another, you know, it's X, Y, and Z type of car. Fuck it, whatever. Again, as long as something interesting is done to it, I'm gonna take a look. fuck knows? It's a Z! And it's the reckless train. No! Fuck. Alright. Yeah, that was no one else's fault but my own. So let's keep going. Let's try to challenge him again. Let's try to challenge him again. He's definitely he's got a lot of top end, more than I do. So let's try to set ourselves up in this race. What sticker is that? World Star? Yeah, I'm gonna have to just try and keep him behind me. Then that really doesn't do anything because he's too close for me to try and... Oh, fuck. Yeah. Get swirly in the wet, son. When it's dry, though, he gets me. Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. It's the intense concentration in my eyes right now. Oh, sweet. All right. Calling that one a race. 2 losses today alone. I did 6 races today though, so whatever. 33 races in total. It's still raining. Now I'm a fine hooligan. It's so funny because it's like ever since they've been using the word hoonigan, I can just never say hooligan correctly. So I just... Can we spec out a little bit more of the FC? Back to the true, I know. And another rainy day in Tokyo on the C1 outer loop. One of the cool things about this game, especially when you're like driving or getting up to a certain speed, you see the light tails on the street lamps. The lightning strike also kind of screen burns itself. There you go. Another lightning strike. Oh man, and thunder this time. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Queen, all the way. Great band. Freddie Mercury, great singer. No. Oh, thanks for the slingshot. Thanks for the slingshot, because I wasn't shifting. Alright, got that one in the bag. Again, you kind of just make up your own strategy. Especially in the early going, you know, you don't have access to very many fast vehicles, so you make do. You play the blocking game.